Hello everyone, you're very welcome back to the channel. Here we are a little later than usual for the US Grand Prix, and this certainly looks like being a very exciting race, not least because we have Verstappen and Hamilton right next to each other on the starting grid. So will they make it down to the first corner in a clean manner? I tell you what, I certainly hope so. I certainly do hope so. We're getting all set to go here. So the race itself should kick off in just under 5 minutes. We have to do the formation lap as well, of course. Thank you very much for joining us. Leave us a comment. Let me know where you are watching from. Who are you going for in this race? Are you on Team Hamilton or Team Verstappen side? Or maybe you're going for somebody else. Yeah, let's have a look at the starting grid. I know Pierre Gasly was having issues. We just saw that on the starting grid there a second ago, but I think they've got most of this rectified at this stage. It sounds like he will be starting the race at least. Actually, they're putting the starting grid up on the screen at the moment. Verstappen in first, Hamilton in second. Then we have Perez in third, Charles Leclerc in fourth. And then, of course, we're going to have Carlos Sainz then starting in fifth. Ricciardo is in sixth, ahead of his teammate. Norris is in seventh. Gasly then is in eighth, assuming that he can actually start the race, but so far so good. We have Bottas starting in ninth. He took an engine penalty, and Tsunoda is starting in 10th. Good qualifying from Tsunoda again. Ocon starts in 11th. Giovinazzi is in 12th. Stroll 13th. Latifi is in 14th. Then we have a whole lot of penalties coming up after the backmarkers. First, so Raikkonen, sorry Raikkonen to call you a backmarker. Mick Schumacher is in 16th. Then Mazepin is in 17th. Then Vettel, he took a full power unit. He was relegated to the back of the grid, but he managed to qualify ahead of Alonso and Russell. They also took an engine penalty, and so they will start at the back. So it's Russell actually who starts in very last place. Alonso will be in 19th and Vettel in 18th. And that was a mini race in itself, already up and running. Now, this is exciting. So the formation lap will be a little bit of a anticlimax, I guess, until we get up and going. But I tell you, that first corner, Max versus Hamilton. What can Perez do as well? So Perez is playing rear gunner, and this is the first time in a while he's actually been up here. He's really in the mix this time. Oh, I hope to God he's not going to do Valtteri Bottas at the Hungarian Grand Prix, because that is not what we need. We need to see a straight race now between Hamilton and Verstappen. Only 6 points between them in the championship as well. So looking at the starting grid, is there anything of particular interest that sticks out here? So Sainz will be starting on the soft tires. I think he's the only driver that's starting out on the soft tires. That's going to make things very tricky for him. So he will be pitting early, probably around lap 10, I would guess. They are estimating that this will be a 2-stop race. Most cars are starting on the medium tires. They would have, of course, qualified in Q2 on the medium tires. So it'll be a 2-stopper. Pirelli are saying the most likely is that they'll switch to the hard tires for their first stop, and most cars will actually take hard tires again for their second stop. I know that doesn't quite work out for everybody. I think Perez only has one set of hard tires left. He also has a set of soft tires. He's one of the only front runners I saw that has soft tires. Don't think they're of much value here. It's just the temperatures are so high. The track is... It's not rough, it's not abrasive, but it's bumpy, that's for sure. Okay, yeah, so let me know in the comments who you're going for, who you want to see win the race. Also, where are you watching from? If you're watching from the US, well then, good afternoon. If you're watching from Europe, good evening. It's a bit of a late one. And if you're watching from further afield, love to hear from you. What time is it where you are? So they're going around on the formation lap at the moment, so there's not too much excitement right now. Getting ready though for an exciting race here. Getting ready for a very exciting race. Still making their way around at the moment on the formation lap. So you can see on the screen what we have at the moment. So we have the timing right here in the center. My head is ever so slightly obscuring it there as well. You can see the driver tracker where they are in relation to each other on the track. So you can see that Verstappen, if I move up other direction, so you can see Verstappen and Hamilton are just coming around now to the end of the lap. So they'll be lining up on the grid for the start of this race. On the left hand side we also have the circuit tracker, and so theoretically, assuming that actually gets up and running, we should be able to see where the cars are on the track, which I haven't seen it work successfully so far this weekend, so I don't have very high hopes. Speaking of the weather, you can see there we have the weather conditions on the screen as well. 28 degrees Celsius, 0% chance of rain, high humidity, high enough, 60, is that 63%? There we are. It's going to be a hot one. It will be hot inside those cars. Alright, so they're lining up on the grid now. Verstappen was there very early. He's going to be sitting on the grid for a really long time. We saw him already this season that his brakes went on fire. I think it was at the British Grand Prix as he was waiting on the grid. So he won't want too much of that. What can Sainz do with his soft tyres from the start? Just looking at the screen, we can see that Tsunoda is also starting on the soft tyres. Yeah, I'm not holding out too much hope for these soft tyre cars. In the interview yesterday, Sainz said he should have really good grip for about 5 seconds. And so that kind of shows you exactly what they're expecting from this. 56 lap race coming up. Ooh, now it's not down to the first corner, it's up to the first corner. That is quite a hill that they have in front of them. Getting ready to go, the lights are out, off they go. It's a good start from Hamilton. It's a good start from Hamilton. Verstappen comes straight across the track to try and cut him off. Hamilton is going to be in the lead. Verstappen gets pushed off the track. But he's fighting back, he's kept the foot down. Oh, Perez, don't get in the way, Perez. Is Perez up into second place? No, Verstappen is hold on to second place. There are some yellow flags out there. There's been an incident somewhere. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. But it looks like Hamilton has got the lead. Yes, and the circuit tracker is working. Fantastic news. Fantastic news. Right, so Verstappen, was he pushed off the track there? Verstappen was not leaving Hamilton any space off the start whatsoever. He was not leaving any space at all. I want to see a replay of that. Sainz is under pressure now. Ricciardo is trying to get past Sainz. So this, of course, is Sainz on the soft. Oh, and Norris is going the other side of him. He's in a McLaren sandwich. And Leclerc has held them all up and they can't make it through. That's insane. And it's Sainz gets run off the track there. There's lots happening. There's lots happening at the moment. 1.3 seconds, by the way, between Hamilton and Verstappen at the moment. It looks like Ricciardo has gotten past Sainz finally. So interesting there. It was Leclerc that actually stopped the move. Oh, Norris has run really, really wide. He's managed to keep his position just about, but Gasly is looking interested in that position. It's not Gasly, it's Tsunoda. Gasly has dropped down. Whoa, what a start. Okay, good news. The good news, at least, we did not have a collision between Hamilton and Verstappen. That's very important. Very important that we see a good race between these two. Tsunoda and Bottas are battling away here. Tsunoda's quite a difficult car to get past. We saw that in one of the last races. Hamilton had a long stint before he was able to get past Tsunoda. He's a good racer. It looks like he probably suffers ever so slightly from a lapse in concentration. Because he was having a very good race last time out, and it was just one unfortunate incident. Okay, so let's have a look at the driver tracker and see what's going on here. So Mazepin is way behind everyone. What's the gap? It's less than a second now, the gap between Verstappen and Hamilton. Sorry, coming back to Mazepin. So Mazepin, obviously something happened with him at the start. I can see he's on the hard tyres now, so he has pitted as well. So maybe he had a little bit of damage to the car. Latifi's in 19th and Schumacher's in 18th. So Schumacher's gotten past Latifi. Let's see, Stroll has dropped down to 17th. Not good for Stroll. Alonso's up to 16th. Vettel is up to 15th. And Russell started behind both of these guys, and he's in 15th place. So Verstappen saying that he doesn't have grip. Not a big surprise. .8 of a second now between Hamilton and Verstappen. Perez is 2 seconds behind Verstappen, so he hasn't been able to keep up with his teammate at all, which is interesting. Very interesting. Intriguing. So Mazepin has made the first pit stop here. What that means is when the other cars all pit, Mazepin will be leading the race. If only. If only. He's quite far behind at the moment. Let's see what that gap is. It's 44 seconds. Well, he's 44 seconds from the lead. He is 23 seconds behind Latifi. The irony of Mick Schumacher being ahead of Latifi, he's still dropped 2 positions from where he started because, of course, we had Vettel, Alonso, and Russell, who made good starts, all 3 of them. Russell in particular up to 14th now. Ocon is in 13th. Less than a second between Ocon and Russell, down 13 to 14th. And then a further second up to Raikkonen. Edwin Pereira, welcome to the broadcast. Yeah, the one thing I will say about qualifying yesterday, the crowd cheering was awesome. It was so good. Every time somebody pumped in a fast lap and there was a huge roar from the crowd, really enjoyed that. Okay, so here is what happened at the start. It looks like it was Lance Stroll and Latifi. Latifi's not impressed. Well, he didn't really have much to say about that. Well, he didn't have much to do about that. He wasn't involved. There was Norris. That was very opportune from Norris. He almost overtook Sainz and Ricciardo in the one move because Leclerc got in the way and caused trouble there. And somehow Sainz got back past, as did Ricciardo, and then Sainz eventually got overtaken by Ricciardo. Let's have a look at how they're doing now. Yeah, so Sainz is still ahead of Norris at the moment. There's an Alpine in the pits. It's Ocon. He's already on the hard tyres. That's an interesting strategy. It's like a wrestling event with a freaking crowd. Yeah, well, it's a form of wrestling, I suppose. Automobile wrestling. In saying that, hopefully we don't see too many coming togethers. It's not all about who gets pushed outside of the white lines in this case. But, okay. We've had 4 laps. This has been a good race so far. What's the gap? It's still under a second between Hamilton and Verstappen. Now, Verstappen... Oh. I thought Ocon had stopped, but that was just his front wing. Unfortunate camera angle that they gave us just there. So we're seeing a replay now of what happened to Ocon. Oh, it was one of the Alphas. One of the Alphas came across. I was going to say, I don't think there's too much damage there, but no, it was clearly broken. It was hanging down on one side. That definitely doesn't help the old aero. Fastest lap for Lewis Hamilton. That's strange. That is strange. He has not been on the radio complaining about his tyres yet that I'm aware of, and he set a fastest lap. Oh, this joke will never get old. Never, ever. Alright, let's have a look at the top 10. So we have Hamilton in first, Verstappen second, Perez in third, Leclerc is in fourth, Ricciardo fifth, Sainz is in sixth, Norris is in seventh, Tsunoda is in 8th, Gasly is in 9th, and Bottas is in 10th place. What happened to Bottas? Hi, Matty. Bottas just didn't have the best start in the world and came under a lot of pressure from both of the AlphaTauris, and as a result now he's stuck behind Gasly, so Gasly has gotten past him at some stage. He was battling with Tsunoda for a little bit, but Gasly made it through. Tankiso, when and how did Hamilton take the lead? Hamilton took the lead from the very, very start. Hamilton had the inside line going up to the first corner. Verstappen came across and tried to pressure him as much as possible, but Hamilton just kept the inside of the track. He ran a little bit wide into the first corner, pushed Verstappen off the track. There was no contact between them. And it was advantage to Hamilton. You're from South Africa. Very, very welcome. Very welcome. Yes. Very nice spot. I dare say you have much nicer weather there than we do here in Ireland. Verstappen has had a time deleted for track limits. And of course he gets a warning for that as well. Oof, just barely went over the line. So those are the rules. Those are the rules. And that's the way it goes. 0.8 of a second still between Hamilton and Verstappen, so DRS obviously isn't playing a huge factor here, but Verstappen is sticking with Hamilton, which is a good sign for the race. 2 pit stops as well, or at least we anticipate 2 pit stops for most of the teams, so pit strategy could become very, very important. Let me have a look outside the top 10, see if anything interesting is happening there. So Giovinazzi is in 11th, and that's pretty decent for him, just outside the points. He is about 3 seconds behind Bottas, so he isn't putting Bottas under pressure at the moment. Raikkonen then is in 12th. Russell has moved up into 13th. Somebody's dropped back. It's Ocon, of course. Ocon took the early pit stop to change his front wing, and of course a change onto the hard tyres. And I see Latifi has also pitted and is now on the hard tyres as well. So that all means Mazepin has been elevated into 18th place. Dion Jacobs, who do you think will take this one? Who do I think is going to take this one? You know what? It's a great question. It's so hard to call, especially when you can see both the Red Bull and Mercedes running so close together. I have a sneaking suspicion that Hamilton and Verstappen may just end up taking each other out of this one, and Perez could win. Can you believe it? Mexican winning in the US, that would be really, really cool, I think. The realist in me says if there's no incident, Hamilton's going to do it. Hamilton is just an expert at this track. I think he's won here 5 out of 8 times or something crazy like that. He loves it here. He loves it in front of the American crowd. Yeah, I know. Sitting a little bit on the fence with that response. Yair, what tyres are on Max and Hamilton and Perez's cars? That is another good question as well. They're all on the medium tyres at the moment. Only 2 cars started on soft tyres. It was, let me see, it was Sainz, who's still out there, and Tsunoda, who's also still out there, so they haven't pitted yet. We're guesstimating probably lap 10 when the soft tyres will need to change. And it's quite warm there today. It's 29 degrees Celsius at the moment. Do you think the undercut is strong here? I have no idea if the undercut is strong here. But you know what? It's only going to take 1 car pitting to tell us that. And we're going to find out very, very soon. Now, what I can say, based on very limited data points that we have, Mazepin, Latifi, Ocon all had incidents, which in itself is a variable and will cause a little bit of bias here, talking about data points. And Mazepin was the first to pit and is actually ahead of both Latifi and Ocon at the moment. So I don't know if that means that the undercut is strong here. But we're definitely going to find out very, very soon, because Hamilton and Verstappen, I have no doubt they'll be trying to get one over each other on the pit strategy. Check. There was a good tweet actually from Pirelli Motorsport where they were saying when they estimate the pit stops to happen. Let me just see. So they're saying between lap 12 and 17 for the cars that are starting on the medium tyres, and between laps 10 and 15 for the cars on the soft tyres. So if you see Hamilton come in on lap 12, I think you can assume that Mercedes think this undercut is going to work, and vice versa. Verstappen claims he has a lot more pace than Hamilton at the moment. Well, if that's true, prove it. Go ahead and prove it. Dion, is the Merc's pace looking faster than the Red Bulls? Not at the moment. Hamilton has the fastest lap. He has a clear track in front of him though, so that's definitely an advantage. There's 0.7 seconds now between Verstappen and Hamilton. There's always a question about the Red Bull pace versus Verstappen's pace. So Verstappen's pace looks like it's a little bit better than Hamilton's pace at the moment. And then if we look at Bottas and Perez, Perez is running about 4 seconds behind his teammate, and Bottas is completely out of the mix at the moment, down in 10th place, and he can't get past Gasly. There hasn't been a lot of overtaking here at all. It is a tough circuit to overtake on. Bottas did say that during his interview yesterday. A little bit of a debate going on at the moment as to whether or not Sainz get back a position for taking it off the circuit, perhaps. Sainz is doing a good job at the moment. He's running in 6th. He is, of course, on the soft tyres. And, well, if the undercut is powerful, we will see courtesy of Carlos Sainz and Yuki Tsunoda, who's ahead of his teammate right now. Gasly, actually, it looked like he may not start the race. He had some kind of engine issue that they were working on the grid, but they managed to get it all fixed, or at least we assumed they did. And he got up and running, and off he went. So he's running behind his teammate at the moment, though, and that's highly unusual for Gasly to be behind Tsunoda. 0.6 of a second now between Hamilton and Verstappen. So Verstappen is putting the pressure on. But where's that overtake coming from? Where is the overtake coming from? If it's coming. Will Verstappen even try? I have a bad feeling if these two try to overtake each other. This is quite a jarring circuit. It's side to side. Some of those chicanes that you have to go through at high speed, like a really sharp change of direction is required. Oh, here's the drive to survive camera angle. And it's Yuki Tsunoda's in right on lap 10. Now, we might get some questions answered about undercut. There's Max now with his rear wing wide open, but he just can't get close enough to Hamilton. The home straight just isn't long enough, it would appear. Maybe there's a power consideration there as well, because of course you're going uphill, very steep uphill into the first corner. Maybe the Mercedes just has a little bit more power going into that corner. That would be interesting to know about. So looking at the driver tracker at the moment, yeah, Perez is out there pretty much on his own now. Lonely race. All right, let me see if I can attempt this name. K4 Mikas. Race leader is not Max. Yes. Yes. I cannot deny that. It is not Max Verstappen. You're completely right. It is, of course, his great nemesis, Lewis Hamilton, who's leading the race. Thank you for that. I very, very consistently forget to update this. Very, very consistently. Every single time I do this, I forget to update who the leader is. Well spotted. Okay. There are Kiana, if I'm saying that name correct, there are 56 laps in this race. We are scheduled for 56 laps. So, whilst I was making that change to the race leader, Verstappen has pitted and he's now on the hard tyres. And he's come out behind Ricciardo. Rear wing is open. He's making the move. So Verstappen now is up into 4th place, 3 seconds down the road from Charles Leclerc. So, yeah, there just wasn't enough of a gap there. So let's see. That was lap 11. Lap 11 that they pitted. I was saying it was anywhere after lap 12 that they expected this to happen. You know, the pit stops for the medium runners. So Red Bull are counting big time on the undercut here. Big time. By the way, let me just see. Tsunoda is in 12th at the moment, and it looks like Gasly has also pitted, and Gasly is now in 14th. So Tsunoda certainly did benefit ever so slightly from making that pit stop. Yeah, Max pitted. What was the time lost? I do not know, I'm afraid. I do not know. I can tell you where he is at the moment. He is 17 seconds behind Hamilton at the moment. I think it's usually on average about 20 seconds for a pit stop. So I think as it stands right now, Verstappen would be leading the race if everyone ahead of him pitted. Verstappen has just set the fastest first sector as well. Perez is 5.7 seconds behind Hamilton. I wonder if he will be told to try and catch him. Give him a little bit of a tough time. Now Verstappen is right up on the back of Leclerc, just over a second gap between them now, so he's caught him very, very fast. These new tyres are working really well for him. Max going for the fastest. I don't know if he will. His second sector was not so fast. So his first sector was the fastest sector so far today. Second sector, not so fast. Well, faster than everyone around him, but it wasn't the fastest second sector, I should say. Yeah, he's got it. He's got the fastest lap, so Perez is in. Perez is in. And Leclerc is in. So Verstappen is now up into 2nd place. And Verstappen does have the fastest lap confirmed. So it was the fastest first sector and the fastest third sector, which all equaled the fastest lap. Oh, Charles Leclerc has come out just behind Valtteri Bottas. Now, Charles Leclerc, of course, on the fresher rubber. Let's see if he can get past Bottas. This is interesting. Bottas is, he's a little bit in no man's land right now. Well, he has made his way up to 4th place because he hasn't pitted yet. And of course, Hamilton hasn't pitted either, so both of the Mercs still have to pit. Sainz getting past Norris. And there goes... Oh no. Past Vettel, sorry. There goes Norris past Vettel as well. Hamilton will be in 2nd place after the pit stop. It looks that way. It looks that way. 14 seconds difference now. And here is Hamilton into the pits right now. So, where is he going to come out? See Verstappen coming around. But first, oh, he's onto the start finish straight now. So he's coming up towards the first corner. This is tight. There he goes. He's into the lead. Verstappen is into the lead. Oh, and he has quite a good lead. He has quite a good lead there. Let's see what the timing shows on this one. So the undercut is more powerful here, that's for sure. And this time Verstappen really is leading the race. Let's get a timer on this. So on the screen at the moment they're saying 6.3 seconds between Verstappen and Hamilton. That's a good undercut. That was a good undercut. That worked really, really well for him. So let's see what Max Verstappen is made of now. Is his car faster than Hamilton or not? Will he start extending that 6-second lead? Or will Hamilton start to reel him in? Perez now is... Let me see. He's 11 seconds down. He's 11 seconds behind Hamilton, actually. No, he's not 11 seconds behind Hamilton. He's 11 seconds behind the leader, so he's about 5 seconds behind Hamilton. Intriguing, yes. Very good job from Red Bull. So far, so good. They have Verstappen in first, Perez in third. That is going very well for them. Very, very well. Oh, Gasly. That doesn't sound healthy. No, he has an issue. He definitely has an issue. Suspension, he's saying. It sounds like an engine issue, though. It really does. It's rattling. It's not a good sound. Gasly, so is falling down the order. He's in 15th now. Mr. OSM 15, any DNF? Not just yet, but it's not looking good for Gasly. It's not looking good for him at all. He's down into last place. Did he make it into the pits? I think Gasly could be a DNF any minute now. He hasn't come into the pits yet. I don't think he has made it back to the pits yet. Now he should be coming into the pits. Yeah, Gasly has come into the pits. I'm just looking at the tracker. Yeah, he's definitely in the pits. Will they be able to fix that car? I don't think so. They had issues with the car on the grid. They managed to get him up and running. It was an engine issue they had on the grid. Strat 4 for Bottas. Give it everything you've got, Bottas. It's hammer time. Here we go. So Bottas is in 5th place because Leclerc got past him with the fresher rubber. Bottas 17 laps done now on his medium tyres. This undercut is going to hurt him big time. Big time. Let's see. So he is 27 seconds behind Verstappen at the moment. Ricciardo is 1 second behind him. Sainz is 4 seconds behind him. Bottas is in the pits. Bottas is in the pits. Valtteri Bottas. 2.7 seconds. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. But now, he stayed out one of the longest out of any of the drivers out there. Where is he going to re-emerge? That's Yuki Tsunoda ahead of him. So he'll be in 11th. No sign of Gasly yet. He's still in the pits. Ooh. Raikkonen and Alonso coming together there at turn 1. Little bit of debris coming off the cars as well. Doesn't look like there's any puncture damage though, which is important. Very, very important. Alright, Alonso is saying that Raikkonen overtook him off the track and he needs the position back quickly. Good, okay. Here's the replay now, so let's see what happened. Raikkonen, oh, he has the outside here. Alonso needs to give him cars with... No, I don't think so. I think Alonso pushed him off the track. He didn't give him his car's width, so I think Fernando's logic here is flawed, ever so slightly more like wishful thinking than anything else. Wishful thinking. No, you can't be penalising Kimi Raikkonen for that, surely to goodness. He did nothing wrong. He tried to overtake Alonso around the outside and got pushed off the track. Great though to be talking about Alonso versus Raikkonen. There's a blast from the past. Especially, was it yesterday or the day before was the anniversary of Raikkonen winning the World Championship by 1 point. 1 point over Alonso. And of course Hamilton. Hamilton could be 8-time world champion now. But Formula 1 is full of ifs and buts, as we all know very, very, very well. You know, Schumacher could have won a few more. Schumacher could have lost a few more. You know, what if Senna stuck around? It could be totally different. Totally different. Would all of that have had a knock-on effect somehow to Lewis Hamilton as well? You just never know these things. So that's why I say Formula 1 is full of ifs and buts. We can only go with the results as they happen on the track. And sometimes you can't even go with that. Look at Sebastian Vettel in Hungary. I'm still ever so slightly bitter about that. Ever so slightly. Having a little bit of trouble getting over that one. Diane, you're asking the ultimate question there. What if Hamilton and Max were on the same team? Actually, I'm going to add that one to the broadcast so we can all see it. Oh, it doesn't come out so well. Anyhow, if they were in the same team, I don't even want to answer that. It's so controversial. It's so controversial. I can't believe you went there. I believe that Verstappen would be beating Hamilton if they were on the same team. But they're not on the same team. They're on different teams. If we thought it was bad when Rosberg and Hamilton were fighting each other, this is the part that sticks with me. Having Verstappen and Hamilton on the same team. Ooh, talk about taking your side of the garage. That would be... You would not want to be around there. That would be a toxic environment. But there I've said it, yeah, I look, if you're talking about peak Hamilton versus peak Verstappen, then that's a different story. But we have to realize Hamilton must be, is he 36, 37 now? Something like that. And Verstappen has yet to hit his peak probably, but he's in very, very good shape at the moment. I have a suspicion the Red Bull is nowhere near the speed of the Mercedes this season. And it's actually the Verstappen effect that we're seeing. Perez, you see Perez, he's a good driver, but he is struggling to get anywhere near Verstappen. With the exception of this weekend has gone so far so good for Perez. It's a tough one. And sticking with that question though, I can't call who's going to win the World Championship this season. I have no idea. I think Hamilton's experience is going to stick with him. Hamilton is so far has been very lucky as well. He's had good luck throughout his career, so Cam blocks. From winter testing, I think the cars are pretty equal. That is that's a good point. So yes, they were quite even in winter testing. And in fact, at one point earlier in the season, it looked like Red Bulls might be slightly ahead of Mercedes, but I think Mercedes have pegged them back. And in recent times, I think Mercedes are slightly faster than Red Bull, but it's a yo-yo effect. It's a yo-yo effect. Deanne, is Danny still struggling in the McLaren? I don't know if he's still struggling or not. He certainly looked much better since he's come back from the summer break. Now, you can't really credit him with the Belgian Grand Prix result because nobody actually went racing there. And you can also say that Norris would have done better than him if Norris had actually managed to keep his car on track during qualifying. But at the moment, look, Ricciardo's running in 5th place. Norris is running in 7th, so Ricciardo is right in the middle of the Ferrari sandwich. He's doing well in this race, and he has done well recently. Of course, he won the Italian Grand Prix. We shouldn't forget that as well. I think if you had a conversation with Lando Norris after his first couple of races this season and told him that Ricciardo's going to win the first race and not you, yeah, well, not even Norris. A lot of people wouldn't have believed that, but there you go. Cunning Stunts, hi, welcome to the channel. Let's go, Brandon. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Alright, so I have been neglecting the timing screen. I need to see where everybody's at. Let me get my timing screen back up in front of me. That's not it. There we go. So Verstappen first, Hamilton second. So we knew this already. It's 5.5 seconds actually. So Hamilton ever so slightly eating into the Verstappen lead here. Ever so slightly. Perez is in 3rd, Leclerc is in 4th, Ricciardo is in 5th, Sainz is in 6th, Norris is 7th, and Bottas then is in 8th place. And coming back to cam blocks, what do you think about Bottas getting to a podium in this race? Now, so he's running in 8th at the moment, very hard to overtake during this. Bottas is going to need to do something very special during the next pit stop in order for him to make the podium. I think the fact he stayed out so long for his first stop, the undercut worked against him big time. Who's that? It's Alonso running off the track and he's overtaken with Giovinazzi. Does he get it done? It looks like he manages to come back on the track and retain the position, but you know, Giovinazzi can argue that he overtook him off the track. So it's going to be a very tall ask for Bottas to get into the podium positions unless a few cars in front of him drop out of this. The McLaren and Ferrari also have good pace, and importantly for Sainz, he has gotten rid of those soft tyres now and he is out on hard tyres, I guess. At the moment, I'm not seeing the tyre allocation on the screen right now. So I really don't think Bottas is going to finish on the podium. Don't quote me on that, but that's how I'm feeling at the moment. Perez looks nailed on for 3rd place as it stands at the moment. Of course, Verstappen and Hamilton aren't close enough to try to overtake each other right now. And I was a little bit worried that when they did, there could be an issue. So, Adrian, DNF for Gasly. I have no idea. So Gasly was in the pits for ages. He came back out. And it looks like he's stopped on the track. It looks like he's just there at the very final corner. Oh, he's moving ever so slightly. Let's see. Yeah, Gasly is out of the race. So he has been classified as being out of the race. Gasly was saying it was a suspension issue when he came on the radio before he pitted. It sounded much more like an engine issue though. It did not sound pleasant at all when they went to the onboard. Adrian, sorry, caps. Yeah, geez, Adrian, don't shout. Diane, do you think Bottas has a point to prove with his last few podiums? I'm not sure if Bottas has a point to prove. I think the fact now that they've confirmed that he'll be driving for Alfa Romeo next season is a little bit of weight off his shoulders. He doesn't necessarily need to play the Mercedes team game as much anymore. Now I know obviously they expect him to do that, but I think he has a much more calm mindset now. I think he's mentally a little bit freer to do things, and I think that's really been showing up to this race. Now he is struggling at the moment down there in 8th place. What's the guy? Yeah, he is 13 seconds behind Norris as well, so it's not looking good for him. Not looking good. Mudshari, how is Seb doing? Seb is down in 14th place at the moment, so he's struggling. Stroll is actually behind him in 15th, 6 seconds behind him though. And George Russell then is in 13th place. Of course, George Russell started in last and Vettel started in third last, and they had Alonso in between them. So not going too well for Vettel. Alonso is in 11th at the moment, by the way. Raikkonen's in the points. He's in 10th. How much is Noel? How much is Lewis gaining each lap on Max? Great question. So 5 seconds between them at the moment. It was 6.5 seconds when Hamilton came out from his pit stop, which was quite a few laps ago. It looks like he's gaining maybe 0.3 of a second per lap. Let's look at the difference with the last lap. Last lap around there was just over 0.2 of a difference in the lap time. So it's not huge, it's not substantial. But Hamilton is slowly but surely getting there. Every time I look at the timing screen, he's taken another 10th out of Verstappen. This race is by no means over. Just 26. Looks like Hamilton is gaining lap by lap. He is. Slowly but surely he's getting there. So we're only on lap 24. There are 56 laps in this race, so he does have time. And of course, if he can do a better pit stop next time around as well. And by better, I mean a better strategic stop. Just 6.7 seconds. So there were 6.7 seconds when they came out of the pits. That sounds about right, yes. So he has now taken 2 seconds out of Hamilton. Out of Verstappen. Team Radio. Alonso has to give the place back to Giovinazzi. As I said, he could be penalised for taking that off the circuit. So there we go. Noel, it will be interesting to see if they allow Max to get the undercut. Well, he took the undercut the first time out. I suspect that Mercedes won't be having that the second time out. But they could be pitting in a very similar time frame to each other actually, because of course Max... When did Max pit? How many laps before Hamilton? It must have been 4, 5, 6 laps before Hamilton. 3. So Martin Brundle has just confirmed it was 3 laps. Manit, what do you think? Why are the Red Bulls slow today? I don't think the Red Bulls are slow today. I think they're running quite okay at the moment. Well, look, Verstappen is leading the race, so Hamilton is eating into his lead ever so slightly. 10th by 10th by 10th. Perez, pretty solid in 3rd place. Bottas is still out of the mix down there in 8th place, 11 seconds behind Norris. So, in fact, Tsunoda is closer to Bottas than Bottas is to Norris. Yeah. So I don't think the Red Bulls are too slow today. Just 26. Where is Lando? Lando's in 7th. So, Lando... Oh, it's just Alonso and Giovinazzi again. Giovinazzi gets pushed off the track and he keeps his position. I'm sure Alonso will be claiming he took that from him off the track. Now Alonso's trying to go around the outside. Oh, this is great racing here. Here we go. Alonso coming back for another run at him. Tries around the outside again. It's not working for him, but Alonso is one of the few cars that's actually trying to overtake people today. Oh, he's going to have to try that again at some stage. Sorry, so Lando Norris. Lando's running in 7th. He had quite a good start. He almost got past Sainz and Ricciardo in one move, and it didn't work out. Sainz apparently overtook Norris off the track, and there has been a little bit of chatter about Sainz being told to give that position back to Norris, but it never came true in reality. So Norris has kind of settled in. He's 4 seconds now behind Sainz. It's basically tit for tat between the Ferrari and the McLarens at the moment. So we have Leclerc in fourth on 25 seconds behind the leader. Ricciardo is in fifth. He is 39 seconds behind the leader. So he's 40. Okay, so Giovinazzi does have to give the position back to Alonso. There you go. Swings and roundabouts. 14 seconds Ricciardo is behind Leclerc, and 1 second then between Ricciardo and Sainz. So actually it looks like the Ferraris are running a little bit better than McLaren at the moment. So that's the story of Norris. Norris then in turn is 6 seconds behind his teammate. Let's have a look at the comments. What else is going on? Noel, the way it's going, Lewis might want to stretch the stint like in the previous race. Yeah, he may want to. The undercut was very powerful for the first stop, so I don't know if that works in his favor. By the way, it's just under 3 seconds now between them, just under 3 seconds. So Hamilton is now, he's getting closer. He'll be able to see Verstappen without a shadow of a doubt, and that'll make him eager to get involved. Let's see if there are back markers in the way. I'm struggling to find. Oh, so Verstappen is just behind Latifi now, and Hamilton is coming up behind Ocon. So Verstappen should get past Latifi here. Yeah, he does. Good. Just 26. Hamilton or Max? Who's winning? When I was asked earlier if it's a clean race, I had a feeling that it was going to be Hamilton that's going to win this race. I doubted myself when I saw that Verstappen had 6.7 seconds or whatever it was advantage over Hamilton after the pit stop. But I can see again, Hamilton is ever so slightly faster than Verstappen at the moment, and I don't know. It's a tight one. It's a tight. My initial prediction is that they're going to take each other out of the race in some really crazy overtaking maneuver that goes dramatically wrong, just like we've seen a couple of times already this season. But I still fancy Hamilton to win this race. This is Hamilton's circuit. You know, he's really, really good here. Mochariel Gaming. Seb and Russell is getting a bit intense. Is it now? Let me have a look at this. So the timing between Vettel and Russell. So Vettel has gotten past Russell. And there's just 2 seconds between them now. So yeah, Vettel has got that move done. Fair play to him. Dion, is Hamilton maybe pushing too hard to catch up with Max? Well, I don't know. I really don't know. It's a great question. Actually, the gap has gone up a little bit. Now, there are back markers involved here, so this is possibly coming into play as well. Hamilton did have a 3-lap advantage on his tyres on Verstappen as well, so I think he might be just using them better. Time will tell on this one. Time will tell. I'm intrigued to see if Hamilton can close in a little bit more on Verstappen now that they have both gotten past the back markers. We have a virtual safety car, by the way. What's going on here? Just 26, so he's taken 3.7 seconds off Max. He has indeed, yeah, he has. There was a piece of debris on the track. That's why we had the virtual safety car, and it's going to end now. So that was very fast. Yair, any blistering on the Mercs and Red Bull tires? None so far that we're aware of. We have not heard Hamilton come on the radio, not even once, to complain about his tires. We did hear Verstappen come on the radio earlier on. This was on his medium tires, where he said that the car was sliding around the track a bit. But for this set of tires, no, we've heard nothing. We've heard nothing so far. Perez says his drink system is not working. Yes. Just thinking about the Kibby memes already. No, gimme it. You will not have the drink. No, Perez, you will not have the drink either, it would appear. It's a hot one though, 29 degrees Celsius still. Yeah, would not like to run out of drink. Any guesses on who will be the driver of the day? There. Oh, it's full of tough questions today. Let me see. Driver of the day. I would say, well, whoever wins the race is going to be in with a big shout, either Verstappen or Hamilton. Leclerc has had a very solid race as well. I wouldn't be giving it to Perez necessarily because he hasn't set the world alight. So he has a good car, he has a fast car, and he's quite easily running in third place, but he's very far off the Hamilton-Verstappen battle. He is 14 seconds behind those guys, so he's not in the mix. So at the moment, I would say it's between Verstappen, Hamilton, and Leclerc for driver of the day. Tsunoda's running in 9th, Raikkonen's running in 10th. I don't know. Alonso possibly as well. He's been in the wars a little bit, being told to give back racing positions. That won't help him. I see my circuit tracker is gone. Circuit tracker is gone. What's happening here? Let me see if I can refresh that. Let's try. It should update any second now. It's updating, and it's back. It's working. Good. Okay. Let me get back on top of the comments. Yair, so no drink. No, you will not have the drink today, Sergio. No drink. Just 26. Leclerc looks a bit strong. Yeah, he's had a decent race so far. He's quite a nice gap between himself and Ricciardo. That's the one thing that stands out the most to me. Leclerc, he's 9 seconds behind Perez, so he's probably not going to get a podium. Rourke, Botma, Leclerc podium. Only if something goes dramatically wrong for Hamilton, Verstappen, or Perez. Verstappen. So Verstappen has taken his pit. He's pitted. 2.8 seconds. Not the fastest pit stop in the world for Red Bull. They're usually ever so slightly faster than that. And here comes Perez. So Perez is up into second place now. So they're asking Hamilton to go for another 6 laps, it looks like. No. Okay, I'm a little bit behind. So Noel, keep this up and he may force the undercut by Red Bull. It has a Lewis win written all over it. You know what? He did force the undercut. And Verstappen has just pitted. So there you go. Let's see what kind of speed Verstappen can come out with now. But it's looking good for Hamilton. Once again, a little bit worried about this undercut. I wonder if Mercedes have something up their sleeve. So if they go for another 6 laps, that would bring them on to lap 36. Who pitted? One of the Ferraris pitted. It was Sainz. Verstappen has gotten past Perez, and that looked like a team order. He just got completely out of the way there. Perez or Charles Leclerc? Charles Leclerc, that's a good one. Leclerc. Perez, unless something happens to Perez, but it really looks like it's nailed on for Perez right now. Daniel, how many laps is this race going for? It'll be going for 56 laps, and we're on lap 31 at the moment. So we have another, let me do my maths, 25 laps to go. Bennett, are Verstappen and Hamilton both going to finish the race on the same hard tyres, or is there a chance the pit stop for a fresher set of tyres to get a better chance? Well, there is the question of all questions, Bennett. Very, very good question. I was wondering the same thing myself. I'm just going to go back to the tweets from Pirelli because they put up the tyre allocations. So Hamilton has 2 used softs. I don't think anybody's going onto the softs in this race. and he has one set of new medium tires. So that's a possibility for Hamilton. That's a possibility for him. Verstappen also has one new set of medium tires. Yeah, you know what? I think it might take something like this in this race to find the ultimate winner. I've got to say, I'm intrigued by the fact that Verstappen has pitted already. So now it's 17 seconds between Hamilton and Verstappen. If, assuming Hamilton comes out again anywhere between 3 to 6 seconds behind Verstappen, we've already seen he won't be able to close that gap enough. So that's why I would agree with you in a sense. He has to do something dramatic here. So it might be the medium tyre that Hamilton goes for at the end of the race. Just 26. This pit stop has infused some serious speed. Yeah. Yeah, I like when we have multiple pit stops because it does allow the drivers to go a little bit more aggressive on the tyres, and it reminds me a little bit more of the racing we had back in the noughties, where Schumacher would just put his foot down and he would destroy the tyres. Of course, they were a lot more durable back then. They weren't made out of Swiss cheese. Now, so Hamilton is winning. He is 16 seconds. So Verstappen slowly but surely taking a little bit out of Hamilton here, but that's to be expected. He's on the fresher tyres. 16.6 seconds between Hamilton and Verstappen. Leclerc is now in third place. Of course, he has still to pit. Perez is down into fourth. So Perez pitted. I missed that. I did miss that. Perez has pitted. Noel, so there was a hint of rain during Q3. Yes, I remember that actually. There was actually an ever so slight spatter of rain coming down at the very, very end. Any chance we'd see some clouds and the rain pouring today? No chance. Chance of rain is 0%, according to the very helpful weather graphic I have at the moment. Apparently there's no chance whatsoever of rain. It would make things interesting. Adrian, the rule, no pit stop under 2 seconds. It's straight. Beep. Yep. It is. I don't like that new rule. I thought pit stops, I thought they had reached I thought they had reached a point in time where they were really, really critical to the race, and you could see that unbelievable teamwork, like a Red Bull. It was crazy what they were able to do. And I know we had a few incidents in the pits, but we've also seen a few incidents after they implemented these new rules as well, mostly because of the new rules. So yeah, there you go. Man, so you haven't seen Nikita Mazepin spin yet. You know what? I don't think he has spun, but he had some kind of incident at the start of the race and he pitted on the first lap and put on hard tyres. So he might have spun and we just weren't shown it. So to be confirmed. Just 26, you're watching from India and you're enjoying. Yeah, it's a fascinating race, and yeah, great that you're watching from India as well. We have a lot of people watching from all over the world at the moment, and I really like that. What time is it in India at the moment? I'm sure it must be quite late at night. So I'm based in Ireland. I've probably said this 5 million times already, and it's 1 minute to 9 p.m. right now. So I actually really like this. I think this is a really nice time to have a race for me. 1:30 a.m. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, you are dedicated to the cause. You are dedicated. A dedicated fan. So for me, the struggle has always been the Japanese Grand Prix and the Australian Grand Prix, and getting up early for those. I will admit, some years I recorded it. I did. Adrian, he flat spotted a tire or more. Who did? Who did? I've clearly missed out on something here. Somebody has flat spotted a tire. Let's see. So Leclerc now is 11 seconds behind Perez. I'm just keeping an eye on that, just in case. Manet, yeah, 1:30 a.m. Yeah, fair play. Wow, that is impressive. I guess it's easier to stay up to watch something than it is to wake up to watch something. That's the way I've always felt about these things. I'm much more of a night owl versus the wake up early person. It's just so demoralizing when that alarm goes off. Oh, Adrian Mazepin. So that's what happened. So a severe flat spot. That's why he had to pit for the hard tires on the first lap. Okay, so he didn't spin. He didn't spin. I said it was to be concluded. It has been concluded. Thank you very, very much, Adrian. Just 26. Yeah, they're way too early. Yeah. I am not surprised you have that opinion. I am not surprised. Freak, did Verstappen pit? Verstappen did pit. So Verstappen has pitted twice now. 14 seconds at the moment between Hamilton and Verstappen. Yeah, so Verstappen is going to have the lead when Hamilton pits. But what is Hamilton pitting onto? 21 laps to go. Medium, can he do the medium tires for 20 laps or so? Oh, it's got to be tight. That's got to be tight. Mob Charil here in Singapore. It's 4:01 a.m. Oh my gosh. Oh, you were very welcome from Singapore, by the way. Of course, we had no Formula 1 race in Singapore this year. 4:01 a.m. Oh my goodness, that is late or early, depending on how you want to look at it. It's all about perspective. Would the soft tires work? I don't think the soft tires will work. I don't think, well, certainly not. He's not going to get 20 laps out of the soft tires. Was it Q2 on Friday that Ricciardo got something like 16 laps out of the soft tires? I think this has medium tires written all over it. There are 20 laps left. 21 laps, in fact. 21, apologies. So we've completed 35 out of 56 laps. Adrian, you're based in Romania and it's 11 p.m. 11 p.m. Yeah, well, that's fairly late for a race, but not too bad. It's certainly not 4 a.m. or 1:30 a.m. Yeah. Yes, Romania, nice part of the world as well. So really, we have an international cast here watching us this evening, or this morning, or whatever you want to call it. My box is going to go into standby mode. No, please don't do that. No, that's not good. Let's see. Yes, lap 35. We're on lap 36 now. Do we have anybody watching from the US? I have a suspicion we do. Now 13.7 seconds between Hamilton and Verstappen. Let's check in on the battle for third place. Perez has set the fastest lap, by the way. I didn't notice that, but there you go. Perez has set the fastest lap. Leclerc is in fourth place, 10 seconds between Perez and Leclerc at the moment. So Leclerc has closed that gap ever so slightly, and it's almost 20 seconds. So it's 17 seconds now between Leclerc and Ricciardo. And 2 seconds then between Ricciardo and Sainz. Bottas has gotten past Norris. When did that happen? Are they showing us any of these moves, or am I just too busy looking at other things? Bottas is up into 7th place. Greetings from Russia. Greetings from Russia. Now, I can't even hazard a guess as to what time it is where you're based in Russia, because doesn't Russia have something crazy like 11 time zones from one side to the other? What time is it in Russia at the moment where you're based? Just 26 rather than official commentary. I'm enjoying here. Yeah, well, we have a good chat going this evening actually on the comments. Really enjoying it myself. Alistair Jameson, Cape Town, South Africa here. Another person from South Africa. You're very welcome. South Africa, I'm guessing a 2-hour difference with Ireland. So you must be around 11 a.m. as well. Just a guesstimate here. Adrian, you're saying Schumacher is out. Is he out? He's running at the moment. He's classified ahead of his teammate right now. Got to keep an eye on that. Oh, George Lucas is here. George Lucas in the house. All right. Manage. What's the difference of lap times between fresh, mediums, and fresh hard tires? That is a good question. I'm going to revert back to the tweets from Pirelli to see if they have shown us that. Usually comes up at the beginning of the coverage. No, I can't find that information. Okay, well, being Captain Obvious here. So the mediums are definitely... here's Hamilton now. Hamilton is in the pits. I'll come back to this question in a second. So he's gone on to hard tires. Hard tires? That's surprising. Now, where's Verstappen? Verstappen is back into the lead. So I think, let's see, 38 laps. So we have 18 laps left. Hamilton, oh, he's 7.8. He's 8.7 seconds behind now. So Hamilton is going to have to put his foot down here. This is big time hammer time. He has 17 laps to make these tires go like crazy. Ooh, I'm not sure about this. I am just not sure this is going to work for Hamilton. I was all set for him putting on a fresh pair of medium tires. I think the difference between medium and hard was anywhere between half a second and 1 second. I don't think it was quite 1 second, so I'm going to hedge my bets and go with half a second. I don't think it really matters at the moment, though. Really was expecting Hamilton to come out on the medium tires there, but. Okay, Alistair, 10 p.m. Oh, okay, so there's only 1 hour's difference between Ireland and South Africa. Yeah, in bed watching the race, that's the way to do it. Don't get to do that for a lot of the races during the season, so that's a nice little luxury. Let me see. Next up. Merck are probably waiting for Max's tires to deteriorate before calling Hamilton in. Maybe they were. Just we haven't really heard anybody complaining about the tires at all. Yeah, just 26. Max is gaining speed. This is the time where we're going to find out. So it's 8.5 seconds between Verstappen and Hamilton. Will we start to see that gap? Hamilton, he just absolutely has to go for it now. He absolutely has to go for it. Let me see. Zanibek, Kazakhstan, 2:05 a.m. Another hardcore supporter there, 2:05 a.m. Greetings to Kazakhstan. Yay Mudder, I'm not sure. I'm not good with all these names. Greetings from Netherlands. Greetings, Netherlands. Of course, it's 10 p.m. in the Netherlands now as well. Christo, 10 p.m. now in South Africa. Thanks for the awesome show. Well, thank you for joining us. I'm actually, thanks to Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton for the awesome show, I should say. Yeah. Okay, so just you're saying 17 seconds to under 14.5 seconds. Kube from Mozambique, 10 p.m. Welcome from Mozambique. Seconds now to 12 seconds. Okay, let's keep an eye on this. Yeah, 12 seconds now between Leclerc and Perez. Is it 12? Yeah, 12 seconds exactly. Yeah, Mochariel, great way to explain to your teacher you're sleepy today. You were watching Formula 1. And if I remember correctly, yes, you're in Singapore, so very, very, very late. Yeah, not so sure that excuse is going to go down too well, but what have you got to lose? Merc playing it safe again, Noel. It seems that way, doesn't it? It seems that way. I'm disappointed. I'm flummoxed. Actually, the gap between Verstappen and Hamilton is up a little bit. It's just under 9 seconds now. So it looks like a Verstappen win at the moment. I really thought Hamilton was going to chase this one down. Damage limitation? Surely to goodness, Merc would have fancied their chances of winning this race. This is the Hamilton circuit after all. Okay, so Adrian is saying this is coming back to the debate of the mediums versus the hard tires. 0.8 of a second, the difference. That sounds quite reasonable. I have to say it's a fairly long lap around here as well. It's 1 minute 39 seconds ish to get around the circuit here. So yeah, 0.8. Thanks, very, very helpful. Manet, since both are on hard tires, when and how much will the tires degradation come into the race for Verstappen? I don't think it's going to come into it very much at all. It was 6 laps, isn't it, the difference between Verstappen and Hamilton in terms of tires? I don't think it's going to be enough. I really flummoxed is the only word I can use here. I really can't figure out what the rationale from Mercedes here was. Maybe they just thought that the medium tires wouldn't go long enough. Yeah, there you have it. There you have it. Now let me see. Just 26, almost 200 people watching. Yeah, fantastic. I really appreciate everybody that's watching, and really, really appreciate your support. We're a small channel. And if you're enjoying this and you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, you know, all the usuals. Aggregate, how many laps to go? We have 15 laps to go. Only 15 laps left. It's gone by fairly fast, I have to say. And okay. You're asking for my predictions. Apologies. Your username is in Russian. And I can't pronounce it. I cannot pronounce it. Maybe you could put up the phonetics for me. But what's my predictions? Oh, there's Sainz trying to get past Ricciardo. So the Ferrari's definitely looking much better than the McLarens. So my prediction for this race was actually that, assuming that Verstappen and Hamilton didn't come together, I thought Hamilton was going to pull it out of the bag. And, well, he's now 6 seconds behind Verstappen. I don't think he's going to be able to do this in 15 laps, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, because I neither support Verstappen nor Hamilton. But it does look like it's a foregone conclusion that Verstappen is going to win this race unless he has some kind of issue before the end. Ocon is going slowly here. Oh, Ocon is retiring. Okay, so in Romania, you should have school tomorrow, but it's a break of 2 weeks because of COVID-19. Over 15,000 people infected in a day. So, yeah, no, well, you don't need to worry about that one too much. But yeah, that fourth wave of COVID is really kicking in all across Europe at the moment. Really is. Yeah, and Russia also having issues with COVID-19 as well. I can tell you, well, I'm based in Ireland, and the numbers are ramping up day by day as well. So it's scary. Alistair saying Hamilton will win, Verstappen's tyres will drop off, and Lewis is on better rubber. Potentially. If that is the case, then Mercedes have played a masterstroke. I'm just not convinced. There's only 6 laps difference between those tyres. Even if Hamilton can get within 1 second of Verstappen, and it'll be just before the end of the race. Okay, so there's something happening between Sainz and Ricciardo. So Ricciardo is still ahead of Sainz. It's 4.5 seconds now between Hamilton and Verstappen. So yeah, there's a long way to go here. Alistair, your prediction could be absolutely spot on. Bottas is still running in 7th place. So Sainz and Ricciardo have had some kind of coming together here. They didn't show it to us. We heard the commentators going crazy about it, but they were showing us, I think, Verstappen and Hamilton at that point. Maybe we'll get a replay in a second. Leclerc now is 9.2 seconds behind Perez, but with 14 laps left, it's still a tall ask. Okay, so Sainz tried to go around the outside. So Sainz thinks Ricciardo closed the door on him. Let's see from a different angle here. No, Ricciardo lost the back of the car by the looks of it. Mozzarella, why did Alonso pit? Why did Alonso pit indeed? Alonso pitted, I think it was for tyres, to be honest. It'd be nice to actually see the breakdown of the tyres again so we know exactly what's going on there. He's running in 13th now. Vettel is up into 12th. And Raikkonen is still running in the points in 10th place. Tsunoda is fairly solid in 9th as well. At the moment, we've Ocon and Gasly are both out of the race. Just 26. Hamilton's new set is cruising through. Yeah, 4.4 seconds. Going well for him at the moment. 2 seconds in one lap. I noticed that alright. So he really made a big jump within the space of one lap. I can only assume there were back markers or something like that coming into play there. Hamilton now is coming up behind Tsunoda, I think. Yeah. And he gets the move done past Tsunoda. So definitely it was probably Yuki Tsunoda that slowed down Max Verstappen. That can't be right. Red Bull would not be having that. Merck probably spotted, this is Noel again, so Merck probably spotted Hamilton gaining a lot of time on the hards earlier, so regardless of the tyres, they think he can pass Max on the track. Well, that's something we haven't seen a lot of today, passing on the track. So we have seen Hamilton close Max down, and he's continuing to do that at the moment, down to 4 seconds now. But we haven't seen the actual on-track overtaking. That's going to be the tricky part. Llama King is watching from Arizona, 2 states over from Texas. Became a fan last year, so this is the first time I've been able to see the US race. Oh, right, that's right, because we didn't have the US Grand Prix last year because of our good old pandemic friend, COVID. Edwin Pereira, does that mean that Verstappen will become the new Formula 1 World Champion? No, it doesn't. We have 6 races left, so it is by no means a foregone conclusion yet. I think this is going to go down to the very last race of the season. I really do. By the way, Llama King, watching from Arizona, yeah, Formula 1 is great. I think if you became a fan last season, or the season before last, let me see your comment. Yeah. If you became a fan last season, I reckon you're a nailed-on fan at the moment, because this has been such a fantastic season so far. Really, really good season. The most winners we've had since 2012. And 2012 was a bit of a joke, though, because the tyres were, you know, the tyres, I used the analogy earlier that they were made out of Swiss cheese. They were really made out of cheese back in 2012. Even Pastor Maldonado won a race in 2012. Hamilton 3.4 seconds now. Whoa. Manet, what's wrong with Bottas? Oh, okay, what is wrong with Bottas? Just not good enough? I don't know. Okay, that's particularly harsh. Bottas did win the last race. He is good enough. It's a difficult circuit to overtake on. He's in dirty air. and he is now only 1 second behind Sainz. So he was quite far behind Sainz, so he's closed that gap big time. I think he'll try to get past Sainz, and he might even get past Ricciardo. So it could be 5th place for Bottas yet. He won't make the podium unless something goes dramatically wrong for the cars in front. But 5th place looks like a good bet at the moment for Bottas. Montreal, 3 drivers battling for P10. Yeah. Yes, indeed. We do have 3 drivers battling for P10. Let me find that on the track. Where are they? Why am I not seeing them on the tracker? I'll come back to that one in a second. Adrian, what did you vote? Vote for what? Vote for driver of the day. If you're talking about driver of the day, I think Leclerc is going to get driver of the day. Although Verstappen or Hamilton could do it. They could just. And if you're talking about who did I vote was going to win the race, I thought Hamilton was going to win the race. And he's not out of it yet. 2.9 seconds with 10 laps to go. Alistair, so Hamilton is picking up a chunk of change each lap. Why is Verstappen that much slower? I don't know. I don't know why Verstappen is that much slower. Perhaps he's taking it easy on his tires so he'll save them for the end of the race. Oh, the live map has frozen again. Oh no. Okay, let me see if I can fix that. Why does that keep happening? Alright, I've hit a refresh on it now, so it should load back up in a second. Let's see if we can get this live map back and working. Okay, there we go. It's back. Well, it doesn't look like we have all the cars on it though. I need to have a look at that battle for 10th place as well. Just a reminder to myself. Cambox, the gap is 3 seconds. Do you think Hamilton will catch Verstappen? It's 2.4 seconds now even because I'm so slow to read the comments. I think Hamilton is going to get within DRS of Verstappen. Whether or not he can get the move done is the question. And if Max is saving a little bit, Dian is saying, is Max trying to manage his tires? I suspect he may be, because he didn't look that slow on the first stint, but who knows? Who knows? It's a hard one to predict sometimes. Manit, at this pace, it does look like Hamilton will overtake Max near the end. What do you think about it? Yeah, well, he's certainly going to catch him. It would look like 9 laps left, so it looks like he will catch him. I don't know if he'll be able to get the overtake done. DRS, is it powerful enough to get the move done? We saw Verstappen was consistently in the DRS range of Hamilton earlier on in the race, and he wasn't able to get it done. But that Mercedes is a different car from the Red Bull, quite obviously. I don't know. I'm not convinced that Hamilton will be able to get a clean move courtesy of DRS. I still think there could be a coming together between those two. Adrian, Lando is staying till the end. Where is Lando at the moment? So Lando's running in 8th place. He's 3 seconds behind Bottas. I don't know. Bottas still 1 second behind Sainz. And Sainz now is 2 seconds behind Ricciardo. And that's the 5th place Ricciardo's in that I have earmarked for Bottas. So it'll be interesting. This is the time to go hard on speed for Max with just 9 laps to go. Max being Max, I think he's going to wait until Hamilton is just in the 1 second range and then he'll put his foot down. But we're going to find out very, very soon. So it's 2.2 seconds gap, 2.1 seconds gap now between them. What's the gap between Perez and Hamilton? It is 27 seconds. Perez is not going to be coming second or first in this race unless Verstappen and Hamilton take each other out, I suspect. Manet, silly doubt. Does the race leader get the DRS advantage? No, unfortunately not. So, well, or fortunately, whatever way you want to look at this, all in the with the aim of assisting the racing, they say. So the only way the race leader can get DRS is, of course, if they're coming up behind a back marker that they are trying to lap. And then if they're within 1 second past the DRS detection zone, then they get DRS. Otherwise, no, they don't. They don't get it. Lap 49 already. Race control. So black and white flags for Stroll for the track limits. Where's Stroll in at the moment? He's in 14th place. Now, I meant to have a look at that battle for 10th place. So we have Yuki Tsunoda, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Vettel. Yes, some personal bests coming in at the moment from Vettel and Alonso as well in the first sector. Leclerc 7 seconds behind Perez. He's been ever so slightly closing that gap. Just with 7 laps to go. I don't think he can do it. Could this be another double podium for Red Bull? Diane, at the moment it looks like it. It does. Not a 1-2, but a double podium. I'm paranoid now about the circuit chart. It's still running. It hasn't frozen at the moment. It's still running, but it has frozen twice so far during this race. Only 7 laps left to go now. Raikkonen, he is 3 seconds ahead of his teammate Giovinazzi now. So that's the battle. Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Vettel and Alonso coming into the mix as well. Lama King, I feel the race leaders will come together because of a risky overtake gone wrong. Yeah, that's the suspicion. If the DRS is powerful enough for Hamilton to get a clean move on Verstappen, then he should be able to get it done. But I'm not convinced DRS is going to be powerful enough, and it might take some kind of a risky move. Hamilton has more to lose here than Verstappen as well, because Verstappen has a 6-point lead in the championship. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know at what point Hamilton just decides he's going to settle for second. Or is he going to go for it? It could be critical for the championship, because of course I keep thinking about the Silverstone result where they came together. Verstappen, of course, went out of the race, but Hamilton did finish the race. He got a penalty, but he finished the race and he won the race actually. And that was huge. It was absolutely huge for the championship, because Verstappen was at that point kind of pulling away. Good, we have the tyres back on. Alonso, somebody asked me about this earlier. Alonso pitted for a 4th time, and he has now put on... Oh no, Alonso's out. Oh no, I should not mention him. Oh, Alonso's out of the race. He has a problem with the rear wing. I don't know if he has damage or if the DRS got stuck. But no, it wouldn't be the DRS, because they'd have taken out the hammer and slammed it shut for him. So he's had an issue with his rear wing. Oh, that's very unfortunate. So he's out. So he had done it. He had pitted for the medium tires. So it was a 3rd pit stop for Alonso. He's now pitted a 4th time, of course, unfortunately. So yeah, Alonso is out of the race apparently. Apparently he's out. Still classified ahead of Mazepin though. So Mazepin clearly not having a good race, but Mazepin at least is running on the track. 1.7 seconds between Hamilton and Verstappen at the moment. No, I'd love to see Max win, but if Lewis wins, my prediction is gonna be spot on. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's looking good for Max at the moment. 5 laps remaining, 1.7 seconds. So even if Hamilton does close that gap now, he's not leaving himself with a lot of time to get this done. We're really getting into the crunch time now. There's a fast first sector coming in from Hamilton. So he is going to give it a shot here. Let's have a look at this lap now. It's 1.8 seconds. Hammer time, I mean, yeah. Oh yeah, just 26. So Hamilton is pushing hard, and that is the definition of hammer time, for sure. Could Hamilton be pushing too hard again? I don't know, Dion. He probably doesn't have too much to lose at this stage. I don't think there are too many concerns about tyre integrity here, as in delamination or anything else like that. So if he wears out the tyres, then he just goes a little bit slower, and he has a 34-second gap back to Perez. It's Ben Stiller now on the screen. So Sebastian Vettel, last lap overtake for P10. That would be juicy. Let's see how they're looking at the moment. So Vettel is 1.6 seconds behind Raikkonen. That's going to end in tears, I have a feeling. Yes. Just 26. I agree. They're... Uh-oh. Something's happening here. Oh, we're back. Raikkonen has gone off the track. So Vettel is up into 10th place. What happened to Raikkonen though? Apparently he's spun the car. Yeah, there we go. Raikkonen spun. He lost it. Oh no. Oh, no. Of course, Raikkonen won here in, was it 2018 or 2019? For Ferrari, I think it was 2019. He's actually the last guy who won here then, if that's correct. .5 seconds, 3 laps to go. Here we go now. Here we go. 2018 cam blocks. Thank you. Live map has frozen again. What a surprise. The whole thing crashed there for a second, so I guess it was linked to that. Let's see if we can refresh this thing. Bottas is trying to make the move on Sainz at the moment. Yeah, it looks like we're back on the live tracker. Sorry about that, it keeps happening. Yeah, Adrian, yeah, Kimi spun, unfortunately. That is disappointing, but on the bright side, Vettel is now into the points, so it's not that tragic. Are Seb's tires good enough to catch Yuki? I don't think he'll do it in 3 laps, but now let me just double check what the gap between them is. Yeah, my live tracker is frozen, but it's all good on the stream, so that's kind of strange. Yeah, here, Hamilton should put on softs for softs if it's worth a shot, since Perez is 35 seconds behind. Yes, but there are only 2 laps left. Now, what he could do is put them on and seal the fastest lap, but he already has the fastest lap. Getting very interested in this now. 1.1 seconds, 2 laps left. Hamilton's getting the push on the radio as well. Llama King, is there going to be a last lap overtake? I don't know. There could be a last lap incident. And Perez wins it in the end. Oh my goodness. Okay, I shouldn't laugh because there's a very, very high possibility something like that could happen. Bo Winkles, I like this race. Do you? Yes, I do like this race. You know what's good about this race? We have had a strong showing from the Ferraris and the McLarens battling away with each other. Bottas has been a little bit down the order and he's trying to get into the mix. Okay, the Haas is apparently slowing down Verstappen. And we've had an intriguing battle between Verstappen and Hamilton. And of course we've had numerous pit stops because the tyres just aren't good enough to make it for a one-stopper in this race, which is always good. So it's been a fascinating race. I've really enjoyed it. I can't believe we're on the second last lap already. Too risky to change to the soft tyres. Yeah, probably at this stage. Well, especially we're on the final lap now. So we're on the final lap. He has DRS. 9/10 of a second. Oh, it's just not close enough though. One lap is not going to be enough. Bowinkles, you're going for max. Okay, well, you could be very happy in 1 lap's time. Or less than 1 lap's time. Still 9/10 of a second. Hamilton won't be able to get close enough here. Can he do anything on the back straight? That's the question. Yeah, he should have done it a few laps ago if he was going for the soft tyres. Bowinkles, good vibes. Yeah, good vibes. I'm not going to say anything. I have a terrible habit of jinxing drivers like Alonso, who I mentioned earlier. Dion Jacobs, Super Max. Yeah, Super Max. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it on TikTok. Now listen to the crowd cheering. Hamilton doesn't have DRS apparently. 1.1 seconds, that's why he doesn't have DRS. He's fallen outside the DRS range. Just 26, you're betting on winning Formula though. Thanks. Don't bet too hard on us. Unfortunately, my Facebook page got taken down during the week because Formula 1 didn't like it, so there you go. Now here we're coming around the final corner. Verstappen is going to win this. He's got it. He's got it. Whoa. A lot of fireworks going off there as well. That's quite dramatic. 1.3 seconds was the gap in the end. Fastest lap at the moment is with Lewis Hamilton. I don't think anybody is going to beat that. Bo, do you think Max will win the championship? I don't know. I would like to think he's going to win the championship just because, you know, Hamilton has won it so many years in a row. It would be nice to see a change. Hamilton has so much experience though. When the going gets tough, I just don't know. This championship is not going to go down to the wire in this manner. I feel like one of these two guys is not going to finish one of the races and there's going to be serious championship impact because of that. Good job, Max. Confetti if Max wins. Yeah, confetti. Well, there's the orange flares are out in the crowd as well. Yes, Max wins. Max was a beast, truly deserved. Yeah, so coming back to driver of the day, Max might get a... Oh, he did get it. There you go, 22%, so it was really tight. I'd like to see the voting on that because I think Charles Leclerc was in with a good shout of that as well. Adrian, you've provided the confetti. Well done. Cheers to us all. Yeah, well, cheers. Cheers to a good race, actually, and cheers to everybody on the comments. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Very, very late for some of you, or early, as I stated. It depends on what that crossover line in your mind is for the morning. Minute, Max, Super Max, Max, yeah. I'm singing it in my head. Cheers, Max. Good night all. Love from India. Thank you very much for joining us, Just26. And the live map has frozen again. I think the live map might have just finished, actually. The feed might be gone. Wait, one more time. One more time to freeze. Why not? The next race is next weekend. Is it next weekend? I'm going to check in on that right now on the Formula One website. Schedule. Okay, I'm looking at the schedule right now, and so we have the next race. United States, that's today. No, 2 weeks' time. Mexico, the 5th to the 7th of November. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed now, Adrian. We don't have a race next weekend, but we do in 2 weeks' time. And it's, of course, the Mexican Grand Prix, so it'll be at quite an interesting hour yet again, I suspect. Winkles, yeah, thanks for your support. I really enjoyed this live stream today myself. And yeah, come on, the Dutch fans. Congratulations. We'll catch up next time. Just26. Yes, man, it's next 6 races. Who is stronger on those laps, Max or Hamilton? Isn't that just the question? That's just the question. Mexico, Sergio Perez will hopefully go for a home win in Mexico. Mexico, I suspect that's a Red Bull circuit. Brazil, that's Red Bull again. Qatar, we don't know. We don't know. Saudi Arabia, we don't know. Abu Dhabi should be Mercedes, although I think Red Bull won there last year, so it's looking good for Red Bull actually. Just looking at those. Ivan, sorry. Mad Max. Yeah, Mad Max wins. Adrian, Perez to win the Mexican Grand Prix. That would be cool. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd be very happy with that result. Bo Winkles, can I follow you? You can, of course, follow me. Subscribe to the channel. We'll only catch up if the live map doesn't freeze. I can't guarantee that. Sorry. Max won last year at Yas Marina, so Red Bull, yeah. So there you go. So I've picked out Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi as the Red Bull circuits, and then for Qatar and Saudi Arabia, they're the unknown quantities. Yeah, it's looking good for Max, and I suspect that Hamilton has another engine penalty to come at some stage as well, because he hasn't done the full engine yet, like Max has. Any reliability issues in sight for Red Bull, according to me? None that I'm aware of, but engine wear and tear will definitely become a factor, because Max changed his engine a lot earlier than Lewis Hamilton as well. Let's not forget that. Bo, you're saying you hope Red Bull. Oh, I just noticed your avatar, Bo, is a Red Bull car. So yeah, you're very firmly in the Max camp. Obviously, coming from Netherlands, but there you go. Yeah. Good result for you today. Adrian saying if they tie, they should race in a Haas for a 30-lap race. Yes, they should. Yes, they should. They should. You know what? They should actually just put them into the Haas for the last 5 races. I would pay to see that. And whoever scores one solitary point gets the championship. That would be a good deal. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, folks. Yeah, thank you very much. Just 26. Let me see. I have a subscribe graphic here. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also hit the bell if you want to be notified of future upcoming videos and the likes. Let me see if I can change some of the graphics on the screen. So. He's no longer the race leader, he's the race winner. And just to confirm it, breaking news, Max Verstappen has won the US Grand Prix 2021. Bo Winkles, yes, you're Dutch. I had a suspicion, Bo. I had a suspicion. Call me crazy. Oh, all the crowd are out on the track now as well. It's really good. Yeah, the crowd and the cheers and everything. It's been really, really cool actually to hear all of that this weekend. Thanks, Bo, for joining us. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Dion, see you next race. Yes, hope to see you at the next race. Thanks very much to everybody who joined us. I think I got to leave it there now. It's I'm not going to complain about it being too late here. It's only 9:45 here, so it's really not too late. You know, I've time to watch a little bit of Netflix before I go to bed or whatever. It's not 4:30, I guess 5 a.m. going after 5 a.m. in some parts of the world right now. So you're the Mexican Grand Prix, Adrian. Manet, according to you, which race would be good for strategic grid penalty for an engine for Max? No, there is a good question. Brazil. I think Brazil would be a good one because it's a very short circuit and it's quite good for overtaking as well, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we all remember Sebastian Vettel coming through the field when he had a really bad start. Was that 2012? He had a bad start and he had to make his way through the field to win the championship. Yeah, so if Red Bull are going to do something like that, then I would recommend Brazil. Mexico, just looking at the Mexican circuit there, that is quite a long start-finish streak they have. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it there. So, thank you very much everybody for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the race. I know I definitely enjoyed the race. Hamilton is being interviewed at the moment. He's just saying what an amazing crowd they're having. And you know what? He's actually right for once. But then again, he says that at every single race. But it was a good race. And it'll be interesting to see the championship standings again. I think it's 12 points. 12 points, I guess, between them now. I'll confirm that. I'm going to I'll post it up on YouTube later on, the championship standings. Alrighty, have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Talk to you soon.